Tamam Shud case mystery. Somerton Man's poison riddle, unsolved secrets revealed. December 1, 1948. A quiet Adelaide beach at sunrise. A well-dressed man lies motionless, no blood, no struggle. Just a calm face staring at the sky, a half-smoked cigarette dangling from his lips. No wallet, no name, but sewn into his pocket, a tiny scrap of paper torn from a rare book. Tamam Shud, Persian for, it is ended. Who was he? A spy poisoned by enemies? A heartbroken lover silenced forever? Or something darker? For 75 years this Somerton man has mocked detectives, codebreakers and DNA experts. His suitcase of tailored suits, a dance card with a mysterious nurse's number, and a code that stumped ASIO. But now 2025's exhumation bombshell could crack it wide open. If it doesn't bury the truth deeper, you won't believe what they found. Stay locked in, this riddle's twist will haunt you till the end. Greetings, fellow unravelers of the unresolved, and welcome to Adventure Hidden, where we sift through the sands of time to reclaim stories that refuse to rest. Today we tread the foggy shores of Adelaide to the Tamam Shud case, one of the 20th century's most tantalizing cold cases, a tale of a nameless man found dead on Somerton Beach in 1948, his body a cipher of clues, a scrap of Persian poetry, a suitcase of secrets, and a poison that left no trace. Picture a suited stranger, impeccably dressed yet utterly unknown, his passing igniting a 75-year hunt that gripped Australia and the world, from tabloid headlines to top-secret ASIO files. This wasn't just a death, it was a deliberate puzzle, pieces scattered like breadcrumbs leading nowhere, or everywhere. If this beachside riddle hooks your curiosity, please like the video to keep the investigation alive, subscribe to dive deeper into such enduring enigmas with us, and comment below. What theory on the Somerton Man chills you most? Let's follow the clues together, step by chilling step. Intro. On the morning of December 1, 1948, as the first light broke over Adelaide's Somerton Beach, a local horseman spotted an unusual sight. A middle-aged man in a suit, propped against the seawall, knees drawn up, head tilted back, a half-smoked Army Club cigarette balanced on his lapel. No signs of violence, no struggle, just an eerie calm as if he'd simply decided to rest, forever. Dubbed the Somerton Man, or Unknown Man, his body yielded no identification, no wallet, no keys. Only a suitcase later found at Adelaide railway station containing suits from American tailors, a used bus ticket, and a tie from a British department store. Sewn into the waistband of his trousers was a scrap of silk bearing two words in Persian. Tamam Shud, torn from page 70 of a rare 1941 edition of Edward Fitzgerald's translation of Omar Khayyam's Rubaiyat, a book of wine, love and fleeting life, discovered discarded in a nearby car. The autopsy revealed a healthy man in his 40s, 5 feet 11 inches tall with a muscular build, gray eyes, and ginger hair turning white, poisoned by an untraceable barbiturate, possibly digitalis or Wabbayan, with no residue in his stomach. His pockets held a pack of juicy fruit gum, matches, and a train ticket from Adelaide to Henley Beach, but no motive, no name. The Rubaiyat scrap led to a code on its back, 5 lines of jumbled letters Rubaiyat that stumped Australia's top cryptographers and even MI5. A local nurse, Justin, was linked by a faint pencil mark on the book, her phone number scrawled on a dance card in the suitcase, but she denied knowing him, though her son bore an uncanny resemblance. For 75 years, theories swirled. Cold War spy, jilted lover, black market passport forger. Then, in July 2022, University of Adelaide's genetic sleuthing identified him as Carl Charles Webb, a 43-year-old electrical engineer from Melbourne, married but childless, vanishing from his life in 1946. Yet the why endures: suicide? Assassination? And 2025's planned exhumation for full DNA could finally close the book? Or open a darker chapter? As we sift the sands of Somerton, we'll honor the detective's dogged pursuit, the cultural grip of this Australian icon, and the faint threads leading to Webb's shadowed end, layer by tantalizing layer. If the Somerton Man's riddle is already pulling you into the fog, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We'll keep chasing such ghostly trails together. Your insight sharpens the search. Now let's walk the beach where it began. Chapter 1. Dawn on Somerton, the body and the beach. It was 6:30 a.m. December 1, 1948, a mild Adelaide summer morning, the kind where the sea breeze carries salt and promise, mingling with the faint scent of eucalyptus from nearby dunes. John Lyons, a 34-year-old jockey with a routine as steady as his horse's gait, was out for his daily ride along the shore when he spotted the figure against the seawall near the crippled children's home, about 100 yards from the road. The man looked asleep, legs crossed at the ankles, arms relaxed by his sides, a cigarette, brand Army Club, a rare import in post-war Australia, dangling from his right hand as if mid-puff, unlit and undisturbed. Lyons rode on, dismissing it as a vagrant catching the dawn, but something nagged. A suit on a beach seemed too out of place. He circled back by 7 a.m., dismounted, and approached. The man was unresponsive. Lyons fetched Constable John Moss from the nearby station. Moss arrived to find no pulse, no rigor mortis yet, the body still warm, suggesting death between 2 and 6 a.m. No vomit, no foam at the mouth, no defensive wounds, just an eerie calm, eyes half open, mouth slightly agape as if listening to the waves. No vomit, no foam at the mouth, no defensive wounds, just an eerie calm, eyes half open, mouth slightly agape as if listening to the waves. Moss noted the details meticulously: clean-shaven face, well-groomed hair, suit pressed and brushed, shoes polished to a shine, but no hat, no tie clip, no watch, odd for a man of apparent means. A quick search of his pockets turned up a pack of juicy fruit gum, an American brand, scarce in rationed Australia, a box of Kensington cigarettes, British equally uncommon, and a book of matches, but nothing personal. No wallet, no keys, no letters. The beach, a popular spot for morning swimmers and holiday strollers, showed no signs of disturbance. No footprints leading away, no signs of a struggle in the sand, no dragged trail. It was as if the man had simply arrived, sat down, and decided to stay. By 8 a.m., the body was stretchered to the Royal Adelaide Hospital for autopsy, the seaside idyll shattered. Pathologist John Barclay, a veteran of war wounds, was baffled. The man was in peak condition. No scars, no tattoos, no signs of manual labor. 5 feet 11 inches tall, muscular build, gray eyes, ginger hair turning white at the temples, perhaps 40 to 45 years old. But inside, the story darkened. Distended spleen, congested liver, a heart twice normal size, classic markers of barbiturate poisoning, yet no pill bottles in his pockets, no syringe marks on his arms or thighs. Toxicology screens for 50 common poisons came back negative. A specific test for digitalis, a heart drug, was also clean. Barclay's colleague, Robert Cowan, concurred in a second opinion: death by poison, nature unknown. The inquest, presided over by the meticulous coroner Thomas Erskine Cleland, a man known for his dogged pursuit of truth in high-profile cases, opened on December 11, 1948, at the Adelaide Magistrates' Court, drawing reporters from Sydney to Perth. Cleland adjourned it immediately for further tests, declaring, "This is no ordinary death, it's a puzzle wrapped in a suit." The beach, now cordoned, became a media circus. Locals recalled a man matching the description seen on November 30th, buying a train ticket to Henley Beach, lingering near the pier. One witness, a nurse walking her dog, swore she saw him sitting peacefully reading a book, but details blurred. This beachside dawn, calm corpse amid holiday crowds, set a tone of quiet anomaly, a man out of place in a city at peace, his secret sewn as tightly as that scrap of silk. Chapter 2, The Rubaiyat Riddle, Code, Book and the Nurse. The case lay dormant through Christmas, Adelaide buzzing with post-war optimism, families at barbecues, children on beaches, until January 28, 1949, when a Glenelg doctor, Neil Byron, found a peculiar book in his unlocked car's back seat. A first edition 1941 Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, translated by Edward Fitzgerald, page 70 roughly torn out. The missing line, the famous quatrains end, Tamam Shud. Byron, an avid reader, recognized the Persian phrase, "It is ended," and handed it to police who matched the scrap via typeface, ink and tear edges under microscope. The book, discarded in a car near the beach, bore a faint pencil inscription on the flyleaf, 5 lines of jumbled letters, tpimpanip/mliboic/mltnbma/stellamim/futata, a code that looked like gibberish but screamed intention. Asios cryptanalysts, fresh from cracking Enigma variants, pored over it for weeks. Simple substitution? No. Vigenère with Khayyam quatrains as key? Nothing. Anagram? Poison emerged faintly but no full message. It stumped even MI5 consultants flown in from London, who deemed it deliberate obfuscation, possibly a one-time pad without the pad. The Tamam Shud phrase from Khayyam's verses on life's fleeting joy and inevitable close hinted at suicide, a poet's farewell, but the poison's sophistication suggested something colder, more calculated. The trail led to a nurse. Inside the Rubaiyat's flyleaf was a handwritten phone number, X3239, traced to a Glenelg exchange in Jeston. Real name Thelma Jean Bryant, 30, a vivacious nurse with a sharp wit, married to Army Major Prosper Thompson, mother to a toddler son Robin. Police showed her the plaster cast of the dead man's face. She blanched, nearly fainting, later admitting, "He looked like someone I knew slightly from years ago." She recalled a brief 1946 encounter at Adelaide train station. A tall, dark stranger, asking for directions to a bus, nothing more. But the book was hers. She'd owned a copy, lent it to a friend who lost it, and the faint pencil mark inside matched her handwriting. The suitcase's dance card from the 1947 Star of the Sea ball in Glenelg had her number scrawled in the same script, her name crossed out beside a Joe, perhaps a date. Justin denied deeper ties, but her reaction, pale, evasive, fueled speculation. Her husband, away on maneuvers, was uninvolved. She claimed no affair. Yet Robin, born January 16, 1947, bore an uncanny resemblance. Ginger hair, broad shoulders, the same ear shape as the cast. Paternity whispers swirled, though 2022 DNA cleared it. Mitochondrial match to Webb, not Thompson. Justin's silence deepened the riddle. She refused further interviews, burning letters, dying in 2007 at 90 without confession, her son following in 2021. Interviews with her neighbors painted a woman of contradictions. Charming, secretive, with a penchant for poetry and a past she guarded like the scrap itself. This Rubaiyat riddle, poetry as poison's prelude, wove a thread from Khayyam's fatalism to a nurse's guarded gaze, a clue that tantalized but never quite connected. Chapter 3. The Suitcase Secrets, Clues in Cotton and Code. The brown Gladstone suitcase, deposited at Adelaide railway station's cloakroom on November 30, 1948, just hours before the body's discovery, became a treasure trove of tantalizing trivia and frustrating voids. Claimed by no one, it held a meticulously curated wardrobe, 3 suits, 2 grey worsteds, 1 brown woolen, all from upscale Melbourne Taylor Smith & Co.'s, labels intact but names removed, a brown v-neck pullover, 4 pairs of jockey brand underpants, all stenciled T-Keen in faded ink, a matching tie labeled T-Keen, a pair of brown leather dress shoes, size 7.5, English make from H.B. Selby, Adelaide, a brown felt hat, no label, a black shaving brush, a leather strop, a pair of nail scissors, a table knife with a serrated edge, a pair of grey woolen socks, a coat hanger, and a small brown toiletries case containing a brush, comb, and a tube of Allenby's brand shaving cream. No razor, no aftershave, no personal effects, no wallet, no photos, no letters. The 4th suit, blue serge, was missing, presumed the one on the body, its pockets emptied. The stencil kit, a small metal box with brushes and ink, bore Keen in block letters, suggesting a sailor's or migrant's alias, but Royal Navy records yielded nothing. The dance card from the Star of the Sea Catholic ball on November 28, 1947, listed Joe as a partner, Justin's number penciled beside it, her name crossed out in haste. A bar of soap, wrapped in paper with X3239, Justin's line, tied back to her. The item screamed middle-class respectability. Quality fabrics, imported brands, but the absence of anything identifying was deliberate, as if curated for anonymity. Coroner Cleland noted the suitcase's meticulous packing, no travel wear suggesting local origin. This wardrobe of whispers, cotton clues masking a man of means, deepened the riddle, each garment a silent witness to a life unlived on that beach. We're just scratching the suitcase's surface, but the code on that Rubaiyat page? It's about to get wilder. What do you think it means, spy cipher or suicide note? Drop your guess in the comments, like if you're hooked on this hunt, and subscribe for the twists ahead. The nurse's connection is next, and it's chilling. Chapter 4. The Nurse and the Notebook, Justin's Shadow. Justin, Thelma Jean Thompson, née Robertson, lived in a neat bungalow in Glenelg, a nurse with a sharp wit, a love for ballroom dancing, and a son, Robin, born January 16, 1947, 9 months after her fleeting train station encounter with the stranger. Police showed her the plaster cast of the dead man's face on January 31, 1949. She blanched, nearly fainting, steadying herself on the table before whispering, "He looked like someone I knew slightly from years ago." Pressed, she recalled a brief 1946 meeting at Adelaide train station. A tall, dark stranger, in a suit, asking for directions to the bus to Glenelg, nothing more. But the Rubaiyat was hers. She'd owned a copy of the 1941 edition, lent it to a friend who lost it months earlier, and the faint pencil mark inside the cover matched her handwriting under magnification. The suitcase's dance card from the Star of the Sea Catholic ball on November 28, 1947, had her phone number, X3239, Scrawled in the same script, her name Thelma crossed out beside a Joe, perhaps a date or nickname. Her husband, Prosper Thompson, an Army major stationed in Alice Springs, was away on maneuvers. She claimed no affair, no deeper ties, but neighbors whispered of her mysterious visitors and late-night poetry readings. A search of her home uncovered a 1947 notebook filled with clippings from Khayyam's verses. The moving finger writes, and having writ, / moves on, and addresses but no direct Somerton link. In a 1959 interview with police, long after the inquest closed, Justin said, "I knew him slightly, he was a poet, I think. We met at a dance, but it was nothing." She refused further questions, burning old letters in her garden that night. Robin, her son, bore an uncanny resemblance. Ginger hair like the dead man's, broad shoulders, the same ear shape as the cast, fueling paternity rumors that haunted her for decades. Though 2022 DNA cleared it, mitochondrial match to Webb, not Thompson, the whispers persisted. Justin's silence deepened the riddle. She shunned media, moved homes twice, dying in 2007 at 90 without confession, her son following in 2021 at 74, taking any secrets to the grave. Interviews with her grandchildren paint a woman of contradictions. Charming, fiercely private, with a penchant for Persian poetry and a past she guarded like the scrap itself. This shadow, Justin as key or red herring, lingers like fog on the beach, her faint, "I knew him," a thread that frays but never breaks. Chapter 5. Spy in the Sand, Cold War Whispers in Webb's World. The spy theory took root fast. Adelaide, 1948, was a hub for British naval intelligence, with HMS Phoenix docked nearby, ASIO monitoring Soviet sympathizers amid the Gouzenko defection's aftershocks. Webb's profile fit: electrical engineer skilled in radio, vanishing in 1946 during the Venona project's height, the Rubaiyat code resembling one-time pads used by the Cambridge Five. Wabayan, the suspected poison, was rare in Australia but known in African arrow poisons, perhaps a Soviet tradecraft touch, sourced via black market. The suitcase's American suits and British tie? Cover for an agent posing as a traveling salesman. SIO files, declassified in 2018, show they shadowed keen aliases in 1947, but no Webb link surfaced. Carl Charles Webb, born September 16, 1905 in Footscray, Melbourne, was a 43-year-old everyman. Tall, slim, ginger-haired, working as an instrument maker at the Adler Electric Lamp Manufacturing Company, specializing in precision tools for radios and dolls, mundane but useful for espionage. Married to Dorothy Jean Robertson in 1941, Justin's sister-in-law through marriage, they lived at 59 St Kilda Road, Brighton, but separated by 1946 amid whispers of infidelity. Webb vanished October 1946, leaving a note: "I'm going away for a while. Don't worry." No bank withdrawals, no job resignation, just gone. His family knew little. Brother Roy, a fitter, said Carl was quiet, kept to himself, loved photography and poetry. No criminal record, no debts, but friends recalled his fascination with Khayyam. Life's too short for regrets. 2022 DNA from a cousin confirmed it. Mitochondrial match, Y chromosome from Webb's line. Yet motive eludes. Suicide over Dorothy's affair? Espionage gone wrong, Webb a low-level asset for the Comintern? 2025 exhumation plans approved January, aim for full genome sequencing and toxin retests on preserved organs, potentially linking to Soviet labs or Justin's circle. This world, Webb's ordinary fade to extraordinary end, fuels the fire, a Melbourne tinkerer tangled in global shadows. Chapter 6. The Code Conundrum, Cracking the Rubaiyat Riddle. The Flyleaf Code, 5 lines of 49 characters in neat capitals. Tpimpinip/MIBOIC/MLTNBMA/Stellamim/Fuktata, defied all comers from day one. ASIO's 1949 analysis, led by codebreaker R. N. M. Robertson, declared, "Not a simple substitution cipher. Patterns suggest a polyalphabetic key, but without the Rubaiyat as base text, it's impenetrable." World War II experts like William Friedman, the U.S. codebreaker who cracked Purple, consulted via cable and called it gibberish with intent, perhaps a null cipher, reading every second letter for poison or end. Theories proliferated: book cipher using Rubaiyat quatrains as numbers, e.g. first word of line 1 equals A. Anagram yielding Tamam Shud variants, or nurse's phone book reference, Justin's X3239 as key, X equals 24, 3 is equal to 3 etc. yielding nonsense. 2013 AI from McCormick University spat, end of life, tying to the scrap, but no full message. 2025 Computational Linguistics from Adelaide's Forensics Lab, using machine learning on 10,000 ciphers, tested as a one-time pad, random key for each letter, but without the pad it's futile. A fringe 2024 theory posits Webb's doll factory tools encoded factory schematics for Soviet export, the code a parts list. Yet it endures, a conundrum as unyielding as the beach sand, keeping amateur sleuths and podcasts alive. This code, crux of the case, holds the key if only we find the lock. The code staring back at us, unsolved after 75 years, but Webb's DNA story? It's about to twist the tale. What do you decode first, spy or suicide? Like if you're obsessed, comment your theory and subscribe, the exhumation reveal is coming. Chapter 7. DNA Dawn, 2022 Identity and 2025 Exhumation. The breakthrough came quietly in 2019, when University of Adelaide's Joanne Gill and Derek Abbott exhumed strands from the original plaster cast, stored in the South Australian Museum since 1949. Mitochondrial DNA sequencing, cross-referenced with genealogical databases like Ancestry.com, matched Webb via a second cousin's line in 2022. Carl Charles Webb, born September 16, 1905, in Footscray, Melbourne, 43 at death, fitting the age. Webb's family tree traced to Cornish miners, his father Richard a baker, mother Eliza a homemaker. Carl, the eldest of four, apprenticed as an electrical fitter, working at the Adler Electric Lamp Manufacturing Company in Fawner, crafting precision instruments for radios and doll parts. Married Dorothy Jean Robertson October 10, 1941, in St. Matthew's Church, Paran, no children, but separated by 1946 amid marital strains. He vanished from their Talangi Road home in October that year, leaving a terse note, "I'm going away for a while. Don't worry." No bank activity, no job notice, just gone, his brother Roy recalling. Carl was quiet, kept to himself, loved tinkering with radios and reading poetry. No spy ties surfaced, no ASIO files, no Venona intercepts, but his engineering skills fit low-level asset profiles. The poison? 2025 exhumation approved January 15 after family consent, retests preserved organs for Wabayan traces, potentially via mass spectrometry, results due Q4 promising motive closure. Family statements released February 2025. He was a gentle soul, not the spy of stories, perhaps a man escaping pain. This dawn, identity as partial light, illuminates Webb's ordinary life. Swing dancing at the Trocadero, photographing family picnics, a Khayyam fan quoting, "The bird of time has but a little way to fly." Yet shadows persist. Why Adelaide? Why the beach? The DNA closes the who, but the why yawns wider. Chapter 8. Theories in the Tide, Lovers, Lies and Legacy. The lover's lament theory swims strongest. Webb, jilted by Dorothy for Prosper Thompson, married 1947 Justin's brother, poisoned himself with Rubaiyat as poetic epitaph. It is ended. The nurse a fleeting 1946 dance partner, the code a scrambled suicide note. Pros, timing fits separation. Khayyam's fatalism matches a heartbroken engineer's end. Cons, Wabayan's rarity screams intent, not impulse. Why the beach, not a Melbourne motel? The spy shadow looms large. Adelaide's 1948 naval base, HMS Phoenix's atomic tests, ASIO's Soviet hunt, Webb's radio skills for Comintern signals, Tamam Shud as abort code, suitcase for alias Keen, naval stencil. Pros, Cold War timing, exotic poison fits tradecraft. Cons, no files link him, 2022 genealogy shows no radical ties. Forgery fable, black market passports, Webb fleeing debts or bigamy, code a contact list. 2025 book, The Man from Somerton by Abbott revives all, interviewing Webb's niece. Uncle Carl was ordinary, loved jazz, hated fights. Legacy, Australia's Nameless Man, inspired Maeterlinck's The Unknown Man play, 1951. 2022 Netflix docuseries 8 million views, and podcasts like The Somerton Man, Top 10 True Crime. A cultural ghost haunting beaches and bookshelves. Chapter 9, The Beach's Last Breath, Inquest, Interment and Infinite Questions. Cleland's June 1949 inquest at Adelaide Magistrates Court drew 200 spectators. Witnesses testified to the horseman's find, the calm scene, the missing suitcase. Barclay and Cowan reiterated poison unknown, ruling death by unnatural causes. No suicide note, no foul play proof, open verdict. The body, unclaimed, was cremated as X, ashes interred at West Terrace Cemetery's Plot 106 in a simple urn, visited by sleuths till 2022. 2025 repatriation to Webb family, approved March, closes the circle, ashes to Footscray for a quiet service. But questions cascade like tides. Why Somerton, a lover's lane? The gum and cigarettes, nervous habits or props? The train ticket, alibi or loop? Infinite like the sea's murmur, the case a mirror for our unsolved selves. Outro. As Somerton's waves recede, the Tamam Shud riddle lingers. A verse unfinished, it's ended, a beginning for wonder, a reminder that some stories end only when we choose to look away. Thank you for this foggy foray with adventure hidden. If the Somerton Man's shadow has gripped you, like the video to keep the code cracking, subscribe for more cold trails and comment your final theory. Sharing scatters the scrap. Until our next nameless night, may the riddle resolve your own.